Now at 10, details of the investigation into a pipe bomb explosion in Carl Junction.
Ghost kitchens have come to Joplin, and it's giving folks a chance to get some popular food that's not normally available in the four-state area. Details are coming up.
The four states' most watched news starts now.
3 people are dead, including 2 children, after a one-car crash near Miami, Oklahoma. This is KOAM News at 10. That crash today killed 29-year-old Terry Wilkins from Joplin and 2 boys, a 5-year-old and a 7-year-old from Joplin. That crash was on Highway 10 southeast of Miami. The Highway Patrol has not said what caused the crash. The driver, 23-year-old Anthony Hendricks of Joplin, was in a Springfield hospital listed in stable condition. Carl Junction police and state authorities are investigating the overnight detonation of a pipe bomb. Happened around 2 this morning in the yard of a home on the 1100 block of York. That's near Center Creek Park in Carl Junction. Police say someone on a dirt bike style motorcycle stopped in front of the home and threw the pipe bomb into the yard where it detonated. Police say no one was hurt. They've contacted the Bureau of Alcohol, Tobacco and Firearms to help in that investigation. Nick Kelly joins us now with a first look at the weather.
Had a pretty quiet day overall down, and thankfully a quiet evening as well, allowing temperatures to cool off after we hit a high of 89 degrees this afternoon. Quite a jump after we started at 66 degrees this morning. Not a drop of rain to be seen anywhere on the radar network. We got pretty quiet throughout the course of the day and certainly throughout this evening. Thankfully, any thunderstorms that did materialize parked itself just to the north from north of Wichita, near Hutch, back near Topeka, Lawrence, Kansas City, and up in the northern parts of Missouri, where a front will fall apart as it tries to work in here tomorrow. But doesn't plan on doing anything for us for the rest of the night, that's for sure. Lower to middle 70s for a good portion of the area right now. Even though that front is going to try and pass through, again, it's going to fall apart, and all it'll do is keep an easterly breeze in place throughout the day. It keeps skies mostly sunny. 65 in the morning, 84 by noon. We'll top out around 88 down. We've got a nice taste of fall on the way, too. We'll break down that in the forecast here in a bit.
See you then. Dining options are increasing in Joplin even without new restaurants being built. That's because some ghost kitchens have been setting up shop. KOAM's Mike Mahoney explains.
Barbecue ribs probably aren't the first thing that comes to mind when one thinks about Joplin Italian eatery Johnny Carino's. But their recent ghost kitchen deal with Famous Dave's Barbecue is changing that.
Corporate decided to team up with Famous Dave's to get a location going down here in Joplin. You can order some of our stuff on the menu in the restaurant, but it's mainly like a ghost kitchen.
The ghost kitchen concept is relatively simple. An out-of-town restaurant strikes a deal with a local restaurant and uses the local kitchen to prepare food that can be ordered online and delivered. Four-staters craving some Famous Dave's Barbecue used to have to travel to Branson, but now it's being prepared right on Range Line.
So far so good. Everyone's liked it. We mainly cater to like hospitals, a couple of the Mercy clinics around here, a couple churches and stuff. Everyone seems to like it, and they always call back and order more.
Ghost kitchens provide companies with a cost-effective way to try out their food in a new market. And if it's a hit, that increases the likelihood of the company behind the ghost kitchen permanently setting up shop.
A lot of industries or companies will look at Joplin and say, oh, you're 50,000 people. But we swell up to 250,000 during the day. Our metro reach is much bigger than what we look like on paper. So I think some of these national chains that can set up a ghost kitchen and get their product out and see what kind of momentum they will have, they will see that some of that quantitative data isn't all that quantitative, that the market will drive opportunity, and we have lots of opportunity in Joplin.
In Joplin, Mike Mahoney, KOAM News.
The Famous Dave's Barbecue Ghost Kitchen has been operating in Joplin for about 3 months now. Brings us to today's KOAM News Now Instapoll question. We want to know how you feel about food delivery versus eating in a restaurant. You can give your opinion on a scale ranging from do you always get food delivered, or maybe you always eat at the restaurant, or somewhere in between. Let us know right now at KOAMnewsnow.com/vote or through the KOAM News Now mobile app. Results are updated live, and we're going to check in on the numbers a little bit later. Still ahead, the partnership and program that will ensure NICU babies at Freeman are getting the nutrients they need. And Feeding the Soul, the annual Empty Bowls fundraiser gets underway with a new approach.
Your chance to pre-order the Honda you want at Roper Honda.
Freeman Health System is celebrating Neonatal Nurses Week by unveiling a new program. Freeman's NICU is creating a donor breast milk program. Children in the NICU might not have access to their mother's breast milk, so this program helps to provide the same nutrients necessary for the baby's development. Studies suggest giving babies human milk instead of formula helps lessen the risk of infections and diseases. The World Health Organization says if a baby cannot receive his or her mother's milk, then donated human milk is the next best option. Freeman's partnering with St. Luke's Heart of America Mother's Milk Bank on the project. Every year, Watered Gardens in Joplin hosts an Empty Bowls event. Empty Bowls allows people to buy handcrafted bowls made by local artists to support local charities. Then when the actual event takes place, they can get those bowls filled with soup. This year, Watered Gardens is trying a different approach with a pop-up event. It allows people to buy their bowls early and meet the artists who made them.
Anyone can really have their own Empty Bowls event. It's as long as all of the proceeds go to provide local hunger relief, and that's what we're doing here in Joplin. The 4 organizations that receive the monies, Watered Gardens, Mission Joplin, We Care of the 4 states, and then last year we added Hope Kitchen and Neo shows.
The main Empty Bowls event will take place on November 18th at the Joplin Empire Market. Family and friends gathered at Crowder College in Neosho, Missouri today for a memorial service for James B. Tatum. Tatum, a Korean War veteran, co-authored legislation to create community colleges in Missouri. He also helped bring Crowder College to Neosho and served on the school board of trustees for 45 years. Tatum died last December. He was 95. Nick is going to be right back with the complete forecast, but first we take time to honor a local veteran. Sergeant Wesley Cobb served in the U.S. Army, his hometown, Pittsburgh, and we are proud to salute Sergeant Wesley Cobb. He's tonight's 4-state hero.
Looking for a career change in nursing? Local Chevy dealer.
Even with partly to mostly sunny skies in place, we kept quiet overall as we got this weekend underway, our final weekend of the summer season. So it's no wonder we kept things pretty nice, not just over Indigo Sky, but all across the area outside of Seneca, Missouri. 7th range line, still looking at mostly clear skies up top, 75 in Joplin with a light easterly breeze, and dew points not too terribly high. Even though it's sitting at 66, the humidity still not terribly high at 73%. Lower to middle 70s, that's where most of us sit at the top of the 10 o'clock hour, anywhere from 70 to about 75, maybe 76 degrees. But as long as we keep with mostly clear skies like we saw throughout the late evening hours so far, we'll drop back into the mid-60s first thing in the morning. To the north, though, we did have some scattered areas, a broken area of scattered rain and storms along the I-70 corridor and up into northern Missouri. That's along a frontal boundary that's going to fall apart as it tries to pass through tomorrow. All it's going to really do is keep our breeze out of the east and even northeast and try to bring the high storm tomorrow down a degree or two compared to today. But I'm watching a stronger system at the surface well to the west and the vigorous upper level near Vancouver. That's going to really shake things up once we hit into the middle of the week. But the upper level ridge is trying to build back in, so that will result in another warm afternoon tomorrow. But at least we can treat ourselves to a nice mild start to our Saturday morning. As we keep quiet under mostly clear skies, overnight lows will drop off to 65. A light east breeze at 5 miles per hour to start the morning out. Picks up a little bit tomorrow out of the east at 5 to 10 during the noon hour, and at times out of the northeast at 5 to 10 during the afternoon. But despite that breeze, we'll go to 84 by noon, 88 degrees in downtown Joplin, and we'll see areas outside of Joplin top out in the mid to upper 80s. Again, warm, sure, but warm and muggy, not so. We'll keep things pretty nice again for Saturday. Here's Sunday. A weak cutoff low. It's going to try to bring some moisture our way. It really is going to bring partly sunny skies for Sunday. Can't rule out a random shower, but I don't see the chances that great to put it in the forecast just yet. It's something I'll keep an eye on. But the bigger system I'm keeping an eye on wants to working on Monday. A good chance for storms with this front passing through. Monday afternoon through Monday night, departing rain chances Tuesday morning, and this upper level wave pushes the jet stream back to the south. This is a more fall-like setup that is lining up for us as we go into the middle and latter part of next week. 88 tomorrow and Sunday, 91 Monday. But behind that front, we'll go 59 Tuesday morning, 73 Tuesday afternoon, the first day of fall, a low of 53 and a high of 75 now. Those numbers are nice, and even as highs go back into the lower 80s by next weekend.
I like the sound of the first day of fall, and I love that forecast for the first week of fall even more.
Absolutely.
Thanks, Nick. And we're going to check in on tonight's KOAM News Now Instapoll question. We've been asking how you feel about food delivery versus eating in a restaurant. There's a scale here. It leans slightly toward preferring to dine in, but it's still in the moderate range. This poll is now closed. Thank you for participating. Nick and I are getting out of here now so we can turn it over to the sports director, Jacob Leonard. Friday night football action straight ahead.
You're watching 4-State Friday Night, proudly sponsored by LaBette Health, GN Bank, and Procam.
What's up, everybody? Welcome into week 4 of 4-State Friday Night. I'm KOAM Sports Director Jacob Leonard. This week, it's a big week of rivalry games in Southeast Kansas and Southwest Missouri. We're going to start tonight's show in Carthage with a matchup of two of the best programs in Missouri. The Tigers welcome in the Webb City Cardinals tonight. Now, Carthage aims for a 4-0 start while the Cardinals try to win their third straight. Now, first Webb City drive, look at Luke Gall. Nice play there to stop the Cardinals on 4th and 2. Gall then proceeds to dominate the rest of the first quarter. Just 2 plays later, huge hole for Gall. Gets through and gets outside. 59-yard touchdown. Carthage up 7, but Gall not done there. Caden Cabance gives it off to Gall. This one, a 13-yard touchdown, his second of the quarter. Let's get one more. Gall, 5-yard score here. He gets 3 in the first. Tigers lead the Cardinals 21-0 going to the second. Now Webb City gets on the board. First play of the second quarter. Cole Vaden keeps it and busts off a 45-yard score. Cuts the Carthage lead to 21-7. The story of the first half, though, turnovers for Webb City. Silas Browning, interception here for Carthage. Cardinals turn it over 4 times in the half. Tigers lead 21-7 at the break. Now first play of the second half. Caden Cabance, the Carthage quarterback. Huge play here, 83 yards for Cabance. This pushes the Carthage lead to 28-7. Tigers dominate Webb City tonight to stay unbeaten, 42-14. Well, the Joplin Eagles are also at home tonight for a COC rivalry game, hosting the Carl Junction Bulldogs. And Joplin is a perfect 3-0 coming into the night, including wins over Webb City and Nixa. The Bulldogs try to go into Joplin tonight, hand the Eagles their first loss. Joplin up with a few minutes left in the first half, facing 4th down here, always right. Looks like he's going to the far side. Look how wide open Landon Atherton is. Touchdown Eagles, that extends their lead to 18. And Joplin starts the second half with the ball right. Will keep it this time. Find some space on the outside. He's in for another Eagles touchdown. It's 30-6 at that point. And CJ trying to get some momentum here. The pass bobbled a few times. Luke Wieselmeyer manages to hold on to it. Joplin will score on the resulting possession off the turnover. And then with the ball back once again, this time, CJ gets the interception. Kyler Stewart, great catch on the sideline, but the Bulldogs not able to get anything going on offense tonight. Joplin stays perfect with a 44-6 win. In the Big 8 this evening, Nevada hosts Lamar in the latest edition of the Silver Tiger rivalry. And both of these teams have been on fire to start the season. They both entered the night 3-0, and both of them have been lighting up the scoreboard. Nevada averaging 50 a game coming into this one, while Lamar is posting 43 per contest. In the first quarter, big push up the middle for Austin Wilkerson. He's in for the score. Lamar strikes first. On to the second quarter now. Trace Wilhite getting it done on the ground, goes to the far side and scores. Lamar jumps out to a 14-0 lead, but Wilhite not done there this time. On the receiving end of the pass from Joel Beshore. That's a touchdown. Lamar takes a 21-0 lead to the break. Lamar wins the rivalry game tonight, 48-22. Staying in the Big 8, the Seneca Indians on the road against East Newton tonight. Seneca 2-1, trying to bounce back from their first loss of the year. Indians roll by East Newton this evening, 35-7. Then Southeast Kansas, the GIRARD Trojans host the Columbus Titans tonight, aiming for a 3-0 start after beating Colgan and Baxter Springs the first 2 weeks. Now, these two teams played twice last season. Columbus beat GIRARD in the regular season before the Trojans turned around and knocked undefeated Columbus out of the playoffs in the first round. The Titans try to return the favor this time and hand the Trojans their first loss. Pick it up second quarter, a little trickery here. Double pass for the Titans, hauled in by Caden Cox. Cuts the score to 28-12 GIRARD. Then Ethan Davidson receives the kick, finds a hole, takes it all the way to the house. That kills the Titans' momentum, sends the Trojans into half with a 22-point lead. Now to start off the second half, Brock Scales with a big-time deflection here to force fourth down. GIRARD takes over, finds their way into the red zone. Handoff here goes to Ethan Merrill. Finds space, takes it in for the touchdown. That extends the lead to 28. Then Christian Taylor, big hit for the sack. For the Trojans, GIRARD keeps finding the end zone. They go on to beat Columbus tonight 47-26. The Chanute Blue Comets fresh off a big win over Pittsburgh, aiming for back-to-back wins on the road against Jefferson West. Chanute wins big tonight 37-8. Blue Comets remain on the road next week facing Ulysses. That brings us to our one and only break here on 4-State Friday night. When we come back, it's homecoming for McDonald County, plus Galena hosts a CNC rivalry game against Riverton. We'll have those highlights and more next.
You're watching 4-State.
The Pittsburgh Purple Dragons are 1-1 through the first 2 weeks of the season. Last week, the Purple Dragons suffered their first loss, falling to former SEK rival Chanute 21-7. Now, Pittsburgh stays at home this week, looking to bounce back against Washburn Rural. Washburn receiving the opening kickoff. McKentis Adams back to receive for the Blues. He'll get deep into Dragons territory. They would score. Pittsburgh goes down 7 early. Purple Dragons respond though. Cooper Hayden pitches it out to Grant Rolfs. Rolfs escapes down the sideline for the touchdown. Home team ties this thing up at 7. Trying to get in the lead here. Rolfs again getting outside for the nice gain. That would set up this later in the drive. Hayden keeps up the middle. Pittsburgh has its first lead. Now, the Dragons defense stays strong throughout the night. Jonah Hunziker here sniffs out the big run, sniffs out the stop, run for the big stop. Now they only allowed 19, but that was still too many. Washburn Rural tops Pittsburgh tonight 19-7. The Parsons Vikings hit the road tonight facing Prairie View. Parsons 2-0 coming into the night, just their second 2-0 start in the last 10 years. Tonight, though, the Vikings fall to Prairie View 38-14. Parsons is back home next week, hosting district rival Galena. The Fort Scott Tigers play their SEK League opener tonight against Independence. Tigers trying to pick up their first win of the year. Fort Scott, though, despite what you see here, shut out tonight. Indy wins 28-0. Tigers stay at home next Friday, hosting former league rival Pittsburgh. The Riverton Rams are off to a hot start this season. Riverton is 2-0 in their first 2 games. They've outscored their opponents 84-20. Now the Rams travel a few miles down the road tonight. Try to stay perfect in a CNC rivalry game against Galena. Close game in the third. Rams ball. Pass goes to Luke Perry over there for the score. Riverton within 2 at that point. Fourth quarter, though, Galena closes it out. Quarterback Brett Sarwinski keeps it. Finds his way into the end zone. Add the 2-point conversion. The Galena lead is back to 10. After an interception, Bulldogs ball again. Sarwinski got to work for a little bit this time, but he crosses the goal line again. Galena pulls away from Riverton late to win at 42-24. The Neosho Wildcats on the road against Branson tonight, trying to pick up their first win of the season. Branson, though, too much for Neosho. Pirates take it 58-28. Neosho is back home next week with a tough one, hosting the Nixa Eagles. The McDonald County Mustangs suffered their first loss of the season last week, falling to LAMAR 31-7. Tonight, the Mustangs return home, looking to bounce back against MONETT. Now, MONETT is 1-2, picking up their first win last week against East Newton. Now, McDonald County making plays on defense early. Cole Martin coming up with the interception. It's 3-0 Mustangs. They add to it here. Crossed out over there in the corner. McDonald County lead to double digits, but MONETT responds in a big way before half. Corbin McCauley Scores there to cut the lead to 3. Cubs actually go up 14-10 at half, but the Mustangs get 21 unanswered in the second half to top the Cubs 31-14. Well, that is all the time we have here tonight. Be sure to switch over to our sister station, Fox 14, at 11 o'clock for week 3 of our Press Box show. That's a 30-minute show, so we'll have even more high school football highlights and scores from all across the area. For now, though, it's time for us to get out of here. We'll see you right back here next Friday.
in Pittsburgh for over